Well, Jeff, we're kind of in the dog days of fall camp. What's the mood like on the field with the guys?
We got through the scrimmage and we came out pretty healthy. We had one little hamstring. That's not too bad. Probably got 100 plays in, and be good to watch the video. I'm excited to watch it.
I want to ask you about the cornerbacks group a little bit. Davin Martin in particular, what stands out about him? How ready is he to be a major contributor this season?
Well, it's his turn. I mean, he's paid his dues. We liked him as a recruit. He's been really good on special teams. He's played good when he's been out there at corner, and it's time for him and a lot of those kind of guys to take their part in all this as a starter.
We've talked about Jacavian Rogers. It seems like whether it's every spring or every fall, just kind of checking in on his development and the weight gain process. Where is he with that as he's standing right now?
He was in a really good spot, and he got injured, and he's been out for a while, so he's just now getting back. So we really haven't seen him much in camp. KK's been getting those reps and done a really good job, and we've got a few other guys that are competing as well.
Has his physical development been on track, though? I know you've talked about that with a lot of guys over the summer, the weight room and things like that.
Yes, he's never going to be, massive. He's pretty frail to begin with, but he's actually gotten, he gained his weight. And, he's made a ton of plays on special teams as well. I would say he was, comparable to Davin until the injury. And he was back out there today for a little bit and a little bit of work yesterday, so he's trending in the right way.
I know you've been light there at times. Has that had to impact the way you guys structure practice or how you work around that with that group?
Coach Grano's done a good job taking care of those guys, and we've tried to be smart in practice just to do the right thing. We're looking great in walkthrough because they're all out there. Unfortunately, the game's not a walkthrough, so they're getting closer to all being back up and running again. But to your point, we have been light there in fall camp.
When did you find out R.J. Lester wasn't going to be able to play this season? What sort of went all into that?
On his physical, and I'm never sure with HIPAA what I can say on that and not say, but I know his physical exposed it.
But how big of an impact is that for you guys to not have him? What were you expecting this year?
Yeah, he was our starting corner. So, he was the guy that we targeted, and, Nick had a relationship with him from Oklahoma, and a really good player, and glad we found it. Possibly saved his life, and they're expecting a full recovery, and he'll be able to continue playing at some point in his career as well.
Jeff, how's Owen looking through the first few weeks of camp?
It's been just what we thought he would look like. He's a pro. Gets in all the right plays, protects himself up front with the protection calls, and very accurate. I'm excited to watch him continue to get better.
All the new defensive faces, what are you kind of seeing from them, Coach, in the first few weeks?
Just a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, really bought in. A lot of those guys, I know they're new to you guys, but they've been with us for a while. And there are some guys we brought in as well. So, they're all new on the starting list. But, there's just guys, there's enough of a core there that we've been together for a long time. They know how we want to do things. And then I've told y'all how much, Shad Banks has really come on, and Kendrick Blackshire's had a really good offseason as well. And I can start naming a lot of those guys off, and I just hate to do it before y'all see them play on the field. But we're really pleased with how they bought into everything around here. They're a good group of kids.
Coach, just going back to Owen real quick, he's been here for a little while, played a fair amount. What's the next step in his progression that you would like to see here over the next couple of weeks and throughout the season?
2-minute drives, 4-minute offense, just situational football, having a grasp of that, and the team knowing, no matter the situation, he can bring us from behind. Did a great job of that in the Rice game. And then the Tulsa game, I'd like for him to get that 2-minute drive in the Army game. Those are things that we've got to take the next step, and we've worked really hard at it, and he's got a good group of guys around him. It's not always the quarterback, but those guys, that's how you're judged at quarterback. If you get your team in the end zone, you're good, and if you don't, you're not. So he knows that.
I know we got a couple more weeks of camp, but the theme so far, you've mentioned it several times, be comfortable with the uncomfortable. During the season, it falls kind of so much into a routine, where it's film study, meetings, practice and stuff. How are you going to maybe plan to strike that balance of not falling into routine, but still kind of keeping these guys on their toes?
Well, they've taken ownership in all this, and that's really what it boils down to. They've got to own it, and it's my job to make sure that gets done. I understand that, but those players have got to own that, and so far, so good. Now, it's the old Mike Tyson deal. You know, everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the freaking mouth. So that's what's great about football. And so far, in fall camp, you get punched in the mouth quite a bit because it's fall camp. And they've responded to every situation the way I would expect them to. And if they don't, you know, we've dealt with it, and they responded to that correction very well.
Jeff, what's the are you guys getting any closer to a motto or settling on something from the leadership aspect? And then, are you still doing single digits this year?
We are. We're voting today, and we'll announce that tomorrow. And they have chosen a motto. It's hashtag 2-1 owned. So it's 2-1. The zero is also the O, I guess. WNED. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm guessing there's some chat GPT in there somewhere. It sounds too cool but I'm not wired that way either. So those guys are amazing of the things they think of.
How would you say the leadership aspect of the team is coming to the foresight here in this first few weeks of camp?
Yeah, I really like them. I like where they are, and we're in a good spot right now. But like I tell y'all, Carrie wanted to go to a steak place. We've got like 2 nights left before the first game I'm free, and she wanted to know it's actually a Thursday night, and so everybody's going to know on the steak place a Thursday night 4 a.m. She said, was I good to go that night? And I'm like, yeah, baby. At that point of the season, I'm still undefeated for sure, so we will be seen in public. But hopefully we'll be able to be seen in public all year. We'll see.
Jeff, you've spoken pretty highly of the nickel spot. How do you feel about the depth that you guys have in that position room?
As strong as anywhere on the team. I would play any of those guys. I feel great about Marcellus. I feel great about Pee Wee. I feel great about Bryce. And I'm telling you, we've got a really good player in Chris Bryson as well. He's been injured all fall camp. He's about ready to come back. He played a ton of special teams reps last year. So our young pup's not ready. But the other 4 can play, and I wouldn't blink if any of the 4 are out there. Zach Brown's done a wonderful job recruiting and developing.
How have you seen Marcellus grow in his time here? What are sort of your expectations for his role this year?
I think his potential is through the roof. He's as athletic as Clarence Hicks, and he plays as hard as Adrian Taylor, and he's probably as big as Danye Taylor. So, I mean, he's got some stuff. Really, y'all going to speak to him today as well. Him and Pee Wee and Bryce are really good players.
Was it a really intentional move to preserve the red shirt with him last year? How did you guys go about that process?
It was. We were just trying to do what's best for that young man. And Danye was playing well, and so was Pee Wee. So it was smart for the team and for him as well.
Did you ever think about moving any of those guys to corner, given the strength you have in that room and maybe a need at the other position?
To corner?
Yeah.
No, that's not the same skill set whatsoever.
Well, like some of those guys have played. D.B. Wilkerson was a safety before he got here, right?
It's still not corner. Now, if you played cover 2 and you squat him out there in the flat every play, he'd be really good at that. But then you'd be questioning me every game while we're running the ball in up our tail. I'd have to explain to you when you play cover 2, you got to play a lot of guys back there in the coverage, and there's not as many guys in the box. So we don't want the ball ran on us. So we really do try to keep that from happening. So guess what? They throw at your corners quite a bit. And I love Marcellus. I love Bryce. I love Pee Wee, but I don't want to see him at corner. But I will make sure Coach Lepp gets your recommendation grade.
It's not a recommendation.
Jeff, can you talk about the defensive line unit a little bit? It looks like you guys reloaded. They're pretty deep there.
Yeah, we are deep. We're deep there, and they got a great room. They got a great chemistry about themselves. We've stayed healthy, which is a real blessing. And Sadiq's done a good job with his room as well. Really happy for him. And yeah, they're different. They're not Joe Evans. They're not Brandon Brown. They're not a Cyrus Simon. You know, we're used to those guys. They've been the staples of our defense for 5 years. And those guys are all gone now. It's a different type of body, different type of movement, and we'll have to see how we're going to adapt philosophically to match those kids' skill sets.
Ty Leonard is one of the guys in that group we talked in the spring about sort of his development and his maturity over time. Where does he stand right now? What do you expect for him this year?
He's an old head, been around forever, that I think is going to really come on and have a great year. His leadership skills have improved tremendously. He knows the culture. He's physical. He's gotten bigger. I expect a big year from Tyler.
Thanks, Jeff.
Appreciate it.